He also feels the stars have finally aligned in his favor. And although 2019 is thought to have been his best shot, this may be one of those moments meets the man. However, the sheer force of Obi's numbers and cult-like followership brings a challenge. His appeal across the youth and this younger generation is one profound aspect of his leverage. Obi, as a flag bearer with a strong northern candidate, will defeat Pablo on election day before our dear mother of the nation. Please, who is he referring to as Pablo? I have no idea who he's speaking about. Until Remy finishes his breakfast around 12. Anyway, that being said, that's obviously this northern person he's probably pitching would be his father. And you cannot deny the cult-like followership of Peter Obi. Peter Obi has a fan base that's spread across the board. And, you know, he has a fan base that's not just with the older generation, but also the younger generation. Yeah. The obedience movement is one that really feels like some form of a cult-like followership. And yes, he does have a strong chance. Whether or not that strong chance will be enough for him to win the election is another thing to decide, because having the people who go to the polls, and it's not just the determining factor, as we've come to see in Nigerian elections, there are other factors that come to bear when you look at the elections in Nigeria. There's INEC. INEC has a role to play in determining the freeness and the fairness of the election. There's also the issue of electoral violence and ensuring that thugs are not manipulated to interfere with the process. And then there's also even being able to ensure that materials get there on time, that there's a real-time transmission of results. So there's several factors, but you cannot deny the strength of the obedience movement. Let's take the reactions of Nigerians to this tweet by Bashir El-Rufai. And our first reaction this morning from X says, Atiku has been contesting for the presidency since the days of Nokia 3310. And if 2019 was his best shot,
that is right.
2027 is simply a farewell tour. The so-called stars aligning doesn't change the fact that Nigerians have consistently rejected him at the polls. The electorate is tired of recycled politicians with no clear legacy beyond political maneuvering. As for Peter Obi, yes, his online fandom is loud, but elections are not won on hashtags and echo chambers. Obi's cult-like following has yet to translate to actual political structure or widespread national machinery. A strong Northern VP, please spare us. Northern politics doesn't bend to Twitter trends. The North votes strategically, not emotionally, and they don't follow noise. They follow interest. This is very, very true.
Very true.
Pablo, as you call him, has a structure, has incumbency, and most importantly, has the grassroots presence from Lagos to Lokoja to Lafia. So while Obi's supporters are trending hashtag Take Back Nigeria, and Atiku is still chasing a legacy, APC is building bridges, consolidating power, and preparing to win again. And about Auntie Remy, she'll probably be done with her morning prayers and already sending congratulatory texts to them all, including the Kaduna genocide player. Oof. Now, wow. Anyway, these are the responses. This one says, Obi will be the flag bearer. El-Rufai will not be on the ticket. The strong northern candidate will be someone else. That is basically telling him, guy, calm down. Your dad is not up for argument.
Exactly, indirectly.
With Obi as flag bearer with a strong northern candidate makes the remaining job just one. Defend the votes, that's all. It will be a mass movement. Don't bother about campaign. Just start thinking about how to collect Obi's votes. Stop ABC from voter suppression or writing results with thugs and police rigging etc. That's all. I think it was as if this person heard what I said. You know, the explanation I just gave, that's really what it was.
The thugs and all that.
Exactly. And the other factors that win elections.
All right. Vlad the Impala. I don't know if it's Impala I wanted to, but Impala.
Impala.
Okay. It says, it's either Peter Obi and Nasir El-Rufai or Peter Obi and Aminu Tambuwal with Abubakar Atiku backing either one of the combinations strongly, or we all are stuck.
Now, wow.
With, I don't know who they call Pablo,
I have
by
no
the
idea
way.
too.
With Pablo. Who is Pablo?
I plead
that has divided
no
this nation along ethnic tribal lines. I don't know who they're talking about, but that's what the tweet says. I don't know what they say. But Vlad the Impala says, but let's come back and look at this clearly. This conversation has risen or has caused a lot of...
Okay, eBay. The place for pre-loved and vintage fashion. eBay. Things people love.
I'd say stare online on X, and if you look at it truly, Olive, who sits in the position as the strong Northern candidate to a Peter Obi? That's the conversation everybody is having. So many have pointed their fingers to one place. And if this was the pawn, and you're about to move it very closely to what we're discussing now, many have said the Kwankwasia.
I was about to mention that Kwankwasia has such a strong influence.
And obedient, it's going to be obedient Kwankwasia. That will be the end.
Obi Kwasia.
And I saw someone say that yesterday. He said, listen, if you get a Kwankwasia movement and then you get Obi and then you merge it, that's going to give APC sleepless nights.
Actually.
I don't know about that though.
It's true, because
it looks
whether or not we admit
very
it,
strong though.
The APC can bicker all they want and call the ADC all sorts of names, political IDPs and what have you.
Yeah.
But the truth is that the ADC is keeping the APC on its toes. They're uncomfortable with what they're seeing that these big political figures who each have had or still have their individual interests have decided to come together with the sole priority to topple the APC. Is why we're seeing these last-minute desperate moves to assert themselves and let people know this is what we are doing, this is what we've been able to achieve. So I do believe that the APC is a bit, maybe not completely threatened, but they're definitely moved by what the ADC is doing. So if you then bring a Kwankwaso with an Obi together, that would be a lethal combination. Because Obi has a lot of influence here. He has backing of young people, he has backing of the older people. And yes, he does have some support in the north. But Kwankwaso has sort of established himself in the north as a force. Right? When former President Muhammadu Buhari passed, many people speculated that the reason why Alhaji Atiku Abubakar announced his resignation from the PDP a day after the mourning had officially begun, or a day after the announcement of his passing had been made, was because that was a way for him to consolidate the followers, his CPC followers in the north. Whether or not that was a successful move, we do not know. These are all speculations, right? We never can tell if this eventually amounted into him being able to garner that level of influence. Because whether we like it or not, former President Muhammadu Buhari had supporters while he was alive, and maybe he still has some supporters.
That's right. And when the former late president died, the question was who is going to take the 12 million votes that he had promised to bring, especially the 12 million votes that he had promised. And some have said that it could have been that he left with the 12 million votes. So there's a struggle between who should actually have that 12 million votes within a northern candidate in which we're looking at. But it makes a very interesting conversation in between, whether we like it or not. And it's a conversation that we would continue to look at in as much as we have said here on Breakfast Central that the media is not really the entire, I'd say, the body or the organ that's pushing 2027 conversations. It's actually what we see from the political parties. Because then again, if the current administration is not pushing 2027, then I think they should have come out with a statement and say, hey, listen, everybody stop. Please stop. We will no longer condone any presence of billboards, posters, celebrations, or even talk to the governors and tell them, listen, I understand that. Because just 2 days ago, a governor came out and said, listen, everybody, don't vote for any other person. Vote for the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's going for a second term. Let's balance equations. Let's ensure that he completes his term. And people were like, excuse me.
Under the Constitution, his tenure is 4 years. Anybody else has
why are you trying to muscle people into a corner? So these are the reasons. So when people say, oh, the media, it's not the media that's pushing 2027. No, not at all. You have the politicians who are campaigning already.
The media is just reporting what is happening. We amplify the stories that are being told. If it's positive reality, we amplify it. If it's a negative reality,
not so much. Not so much.
The opposition. We're joined this morning for the discussion by factional National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Mr. Abayomi Arabambi. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right. The Senator Nenadi Usman-led faction of the Labour Party have denied the claims that you've made. And you did see the exact words there. They said it's a malicious and desperate frame-up aimed at blackmailing and destabilizing the opposition. Let's start with the claims. What made you come to the conclusion that they were planning a coup? What evidence did you have to support the claim of a planned coup?
Yeah, thank you very much, and good morning once again to Nigerians. My position is reinforced, by the fact that ever since 2023 general election, Mr. Peter Obi has not deemed fit to accept that result of the election after the declaration of the winner, after declaration, by the first court of first instance, that is the appeal court for presidential election, and also the Supreme Court. This is unpresidential by anybody. He himself, about that democracy. You just as a factioner, but you remember there is no faction in Labour Party. We do not have factions in Labour Party, as far as we are concerned. We only have one leadership. And Nnedi Usman was a product of something I would call, a tea party or a young festival committee. For them to have the audacity, without the approval of the leadership of the party, planning that they want to stage a 1 million march rally is an attempt to undermine the authority of Nigeria and to forcibly destabilize this democratically elected administration. Planning 1 million march rally, for God's sake, are we in an election period? What exactly is the function that 1 million march rally was spearheaded by Peter Obi himself and Joe Ajaero? All of you know Joe Ajaero is still standing before the federal government on treasonable felony charges. So these are the people that deliberately posted their names, the Obidient, the NLC, the TUC, this and that, on that banner, and they claim they want to assemble 1 million people inside the party secretariat. Please, to achieve what? If not for that, it is just a brazen attempt at a political insurrection. Cloak under the guise of the so-called 1 million march rally to make Nigeria ungovernable. What exactly? Do they want to come and campaign for Peter Obi, who we all know has joined that coalition of the grassroots elements in the ADC? You are in ADC today, you claim you are in PDP tomorrow, you are in Labour Party. It is not acceptable. We do not have automatic ticket for anybody. Ours is that those who want to run should come and do primary. So for us, and as far as we are concerned, they knew what they were doing, and that was why, we quickly need to alert the Nigerian government and other security agencies that anybody, you want to do a 1 million man, and it's just a small screen. He has an agenda to topple this democracy. And because that was why I said, despite the fact that he knew he lost the election by himself, by our former DG, I've forgotten his name now, not the one that died, the one was Shutokun, Itua Igodalo, and Aisha Yusufu. These are the people that superintended over Labour Party. They rigged Labour Party out of the 2023 general election. So you cannot come back now, rather than for you to wait till 2027. Mr. Peter Obi and Joe Ajaero especially have been planning everything possible to make Nigeria ungovernable. This is a man that has never spoken well about our country ever in 2023. He has never spoken well about our country. And that is on presidential, as far as I'm concerned. You see, as a Nigerian, if you don't say anything good to your country, you have a name, you have an aim to make sure that administration did not succeed. And that is not the function of the opposition. It is just for you to put the ruling party on their toes. Whatever they are doing, you must come out with a plausible solution. It's not just for you to be willing to be praying for the failure or downfall of the administration. You was once a governor. You all knew what even the man going about with him now, Senator Peter Obi, said about him. during their second term. He called Obi a rebel. He said Obi is a man who actually want to be controlling him, but he, as national chairman, is not open to such control. So why will we be open to search for him? So for me, I think insist they claim they want to go to court. I'll be willing to meet them in court. They should come and explain to Nigerians. They should come and explain to the National Security Advisor. Peter Obi and Joe Ajaero come and explain what exactly do they want to do with the 1 million rally. Are they campaigning for Obi to be president under which party? Are they meeting the election time? Yeah, that one is taken, but this is not an election time. You are now claiming you want to mobilize 1 million people. Do you know the meaning? 1 million people inside Labour Party Secretariat. It is an attempt to just go and switch the National Assembly. It is an attempt to forcibly enter the Aso Rock and overthrow the president because Obi and Joe Ajaero, they have their eyes on that presidency, but they don't want to do election. So that is our position. As I've seen maintaining on national television, I will prefer to meet them in court. If they said they want to lie, we have facts and figures.
Mr. Rabambi, if I hear you correctly, Mr. Rabambi, if I hear you correctly, your grounds against Mr. Peter Obi in this instance and your evidence is the fact that he and the Nenadi Usman-led committee of faction of the Labour Party want to stage a 1 million march. Is that the evidence that you have against him, saying that this is likely a coup?
You see, when somebody said they want to take you to court, you don't put, out all the facts. I am just telling Nigerians. You see, sometimes when police arrest some people, they can go and check, whatever they post. You see some people posting something, that can be likened to an event that, the person committed. That is how investigation is done. If an offense is committed, it doesn't mean police will be there. But when they launch the investigation, they will get to know who is the perpetrators. I am saying that 1 million rally is needless. As far as I'm concerned, in our polity, is needless. So their attempt is because, one, they have attempted twice now to take over that party secretariat. Peter Obi is not running for election. All he wanted was to use Labour Party to promote the state of Biafra. And I will give you 2 instances.
But that's an allegation.
Yes.
But that's a strong allegation, though. I hope you're able to defend that in court.
I'm coming. I want you to post where Obi has ever condemned insecurity in the southeast. When people are killed, I want you to tell me where Obi has ever condemned the atrocities of IPOB. I want you to tell me every killing in the southeast that Mr. Obi has ever opened his mouth to condemn in Nigeria. But you see, whatever that happened in other regions of the country, you will see him jumping up and down to condemn the administration. They have been killing even since 1960 in Nigeria. So he's not the one now to now come, something that will refer to an empty container load of economists, a man who will come and tell Nigeria, all manner of data that are false. So the one that knows how to, speak about other regions, but it will keep mute. It will remain muted when you come to, the Southeast. That is not the kind of Nigeria.
Okay, Mr. Rabambi, just to correct what you're saying, Mr. Rabambi, I'm just trying to respond to you. A simple Peter Obi condemns killings in the Southeast search on Google will show you a plethora of, links where you can see news articles reporting Peter Obi condemning the killings in the Southeast, speaking against the stay-at-home order. You will see a number of it on Google. If you want, I can read 1 or 2 for you. Would you like me to do that?
IPOB in Nigeria?
Sorry?
Has Peter Obi ever condemned the 3 of those IPOB in Nigeria?
I didn't hear that. Has Peter Obi ever condemned what?
IPOB. These indigenous people of Biafra. Has he ever condemned them?
Right. So, Mr. Arabambi, to be honest, if you're going to make such strong allegations, especially because you're doing it on our platform, you would need to have credible evidence to make such strong allegations. You talk about, I'm a bit concerned about the ethnic colorations that you're adding to this. It's okay for you to argue about being the legitimate, if you believe that your faction is a legitimate leader, right? INEC recognizes your faction, and being able to argue that you're legitimate leaders of the Labour Party. Well, let's not bring in ethnic colorations into this, because if you argue, I mean, from what you said earlier, you said Peter Obi has never said anything good about Nigeria. The question is, the things he's speaking about, can you say that a number of these things, can you point to the ones that are lies?
Let me tell you, Obi has never spoken the truth about this country.
Like where?
Give us examples.
I am telling you, he has never spoken the truth about this country. When you are condemning an economy as an opposition, what solution? Or is it peculiar? Is this peculiar to the present administration? Our position as a political party is this: when you have a government, you need to wait every 4 years, to come and tell Nigerians what you are going to do better.
So there's no need. So, Mr. Abambi, I think we need to move away from this particular part of because we're not able to.
Because the truth is,
it's not.
What I'm saying is, you need to be able to substantiate what you're saying. You can't make claims that you cannot verify. There are reports online of Peter Obi criticizing the wrongdoings by IPOB, condemning the killings in the southeastern part of the country, condemning the sit-at-home order. He's not. I mean, if you want to say something, at least.
Okay, Kene, welcome. Thank you for that information.
You don't tell me
Let me check.
Was when they asked people to sit at home. It's bad at that.
But you just said you just said that he never said anything about it. That he never said anything. You know what?
No. That is not the way to do it. You see, when a man ran to Niger State and you now openly condemn and say that, 3 people were straight up probably in a fraud, but he said when this criminal element in the Southeast went to kill 9 people. That I want you to post. Maybe you can bring them. We meet to.
Okay, Mr. Abambi, let's just tell you that we're supposed to have.
Never be condemning issues in the Southeast. He has never been condemning, criminality in the Southeast because.
Okay, Mr. Abambi, we're supposed to have a representative from the Labour Party join this interview, but of course, just a few minutes ago.
Welcome.
From the legal group, they are not recognized by
a member.
Committee.
Yes, they were supposed to join this interview this morning, but of course, I'm told that they do have another meeting that's ongoing now. That's why so far so good.
None of them can come and face me. They don't have any meeting. None of them can come and face me. When they come, I will read out something that will bring in over 4-5 million viewers to your television. If I should see even an artist should come, I will not be bringing back. Even at my bank, I will be bringing it out for Nigeria to see.
Can I also please ask?
I just want to ask. Sorry. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't want this to look like. We don't work for the Labour Party. Let's get that fact clear. This is News Central. We're not the Labour Party, so we're not here to argue with you on who Labour Party is or defend them. It's not our duty. It's not our job. Okay, we're just stating clearly here that we're expecting one of the members to join us this morning, but of course we've gotten the information that they're not able to do so now at the moment. Hopefully they will do that by 10. Hopefully they'll do that by 10 a.m. But the show is over by then. Maybe they will be able to join another program. But my question to you is: in all of this, it seems like there's a bickering back and forth, and then there's a heap on ethnic conversations regarding to the political party. And then you also made a statement that your political party does not criticize the administration, the current administration. You wait until 4 years before you criticize.
No, that's not what I said. I said the function of the opposition is to criticize the present administration and offer possible solutions. That's what I said.
But that has been done by those. But let me state clearly. But that has been done by a few opposition parties and members. They've said something, and they've also proffered solutions. Even the person you talked about, Mr. Peter Obi, has said something. Has also proffered solutions. Even in his recently, there's a video of a book launch where he also spoke, which I'm going to tell the producers to get that video ready, and I want to play to your hearing. But just take a look at this video. Maybe he didn't say something. I don't know. We don't speak for him, but we just want to ensure that when you come to the national TV, you need to substantiate with facts. Let's take a look. Mr. Abambi.
Okay, we'll bring the video
we'll get that video for you.
We'll bring it back.
I want to ask, so in all of this, where does Julius Abure stand? Is he part of your faction? Does he support the things you're saying? or he's not part of Labour Party at all? Because we've simply kept quiet on him and Akpakpa. Where do they stand?
Let me tell you, we have just one Labour Party, Apapa, Abure, we are the original, the landlord of Labour
say Gary Day.
And the rent that Peter Obi paid into Labour Party has expired.
If he was not for Peter Obi, who know now? Arifi, see finish, who know now?
There's a rent fee.
Their house.
Exactly. Good question.
I am giving an analogy. They came into the party. Peter Obi was never a member of our party. He came from PDP. Just like his sultan himself from Abga, when he had problems with the he jumped to PDP. From PDP, came to Labour Party. Now from Labour Party, he himself had declared himself as a member of ADC because he was there during the inauguration of the MAG and Arabesola committee. He was part of them. So as far as we are concerned, if anybody wants to come and renew your rent, but do not forget it is, at the beck and call of the landlord. If we so desire, but our president candidate is not reserved for anybody. As far as we are concerned, it's not and shall never be reserved for Mr. Peter Obi. Our president candidate, our president seat is not reserved and shall never be reserved for Mr. Peter Obi. And the other, disgruntled element, the senator and the of rep, that were going around with him. Thank God 2027 is around the corner. Then Nigeria will see who is in charge of Labour Party when the time comes. But for us, we are all together. There is no faction in Labour Party. It's Peter Obi that doesn't know where he belongs. But we wish him well in his sojourn, whether in ADC, whether in PDP or SDP, we wish him well. But we don't expect to be talking about Labour Party now. It is a shame, on them because they are an attempt to take over the party. It was not because they want to do 2027 election. No, it was because they want to use it as a tool to foment trouble in Abuja. They want to use it as a tool. And that's why the man never said anything good.
And you have proof. You have proof of all of this.
When I have challenged them,
do you have proof?
Whatever they want to write to the police, I will also put up our own defense, then come and defend. Because if you come into my house at 2 a.m., you said you want to come and greet me, my dear brother, I will ask my security to shoot you. What are you doing in my house by 2 a.m.? Uninvited. Somebody said you want to organize a 1 million march rally, and I'm going to sit here. You are telling me, you meant well for Nigeria, 1 million march rally. To do what? Are we campaigning? What are we doing? And you have seen, most of, his utterances against the Federal Bank of Nigeria. A man will go to UK. You will not be demarketing, your country. Whenever there is any issues in Nigeria, you will see Mr. Peter Obi as the Minister of Disaster Announcement in Nigeria. So never spoken any good thing about this country, and you are telling me such a man meant well for this country? But I am willing to meet him in the court of law, please. I am willing to meet him in the court of law.
Mr. Abambi, this man was once your party's golden egg. This man was once the person who your party adored and positioned. In fact, the ticket was expressly reserved for him until later you withdrew the ticket. So now, saying that, the way that you sound, it's almost like you never had any form of reverence for Mr. Peter Obi. I want to also point out something. In this interview, and in the last interview that we had with you, you've been threatening to open a can of worms, like you have something against, like you have something on Peter Obi. Is that true?
Open it now. Let's see.
Let me remind you. Your TV also was there when the chairman said any day he hear PIM from Mr. Peter Obi that we are going to spill,
You have been hearing PIM from him now.
Like the rotten egg.
Which chairman?
I hereby challenge them to go beyond their boundary.
Okay.
We have a lot, and that law, we have a lot. Are you getting me? We have a lot against them, but I would prefer they take this matter to court so that we can provide certified true copy of evidence, against them. The one they committed before the election, the one they committed, the fraud, the monumental fraud they committed even during the election.
Hold that thought there.
After the election.
Hold that thought.
We will break it out.
All right, you've talked about Mr. Abambi. Hold that thought, and I want us to press in a little deep. I have just one more question for you, but let's go on this very quick break.
Talk, oh, Arabambi, talk. Let's hear. Tell us the secret.
Is on the rise. In the beating heart of Owerri.
Una welcome. How na dey?
Sunrise to sundown.
Una tell Arabambi to talk. I don't know what is holding him.
The Assembly's latest attempt to amend the 1999 Constitution has raised concerns. The National Assembly conducted zonal public hearings across the country, focusing on issues like state police, judicial reform, local government autonomy, and women's political representation. But skepticism about its intentions run deep.
While lawmakers say it's a step toward reform, critics argue that it's just another political performance. Some even call it a jamboree with no real substance, as many Nigerians feel past amendments failed to address core governance problems. One of such Nigerians is former Minister of Education and Chief Executive Officer of Human Capital Africa, Dr. Oby Ezekwesili, who knocked the National Assembly yesterday over its efforts in the ongoing constitutional amendment, describing it as a charade and a conduit pipe to waste public funds. Well, joining us this morning to get more reactions and deeper insight into this ongoing constitutional amendment review process is a fundamental human rights lawyer and human rights activist, Inibehe Effiong. Good morning. It's good to have you here.
Good morning. Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Do you share the same sentiments with Dr. Oby Ezekwesili?
Entirely. My own sentiment is actually stronger. If you ask me, I believe that what is going on is a Ponzi scheme. What the National Assembly is embarking on is a Ponzi scheme. And I'm saying that because it has now become clear to Nigerians that what they term as conditional amendment or constitutional amendment has become a quick, a very fat cow. It means of accumulation of resources. Every National Assembly in the last few dispensations that we have had has embarked on proposed conditional amendments. Why do you think it is so? The reason why every Senate President, every Speaker of the House of Representatives that is sworn in has constitutional amendment as part of its cardinal legislative agenda is because a lot of money is voted for this purpose. National Assembly members accumulate significant resources. Billions have been dissipated year after year, cycle after cycle, dispensation after dispensation, in the name of amending the Constitution. What this speaks to is that we have a political class that knows that this piecemeal, periodic attempts at addressing structural imbalances, reform of institutions and our government system is simply not workable. So why not simply solve the matter from the roots? I do not believe that, in the first place, that this current National Assembly, the current crop of legislators that we have, is capable of giving Nigerians a constitution that addresses the issues that matters to the Nigerian people. I do not believe that a National Assembly headed by Senator Godswill Akpabio and Speaker Abbas is capable of addressing even the nature of the National Assembly itself. Whether, for example, we should have a unicameral legislature or we should continue with this bicameral legislature that has basically become a money-wasting venture for the country. So the point I am making is that instead of going around the cycles, every 4 years they introduce bills, and you say one of the annoying things. Now they keep hearing proposals for state creation. They are using these things to speak to the sentiments of people who are clearly misinformed. That the problem of Nigeria is state creation. So when they go to the east, some people will come out and say they want new state. Even in my home state, Akwa Ibom, of about 5 million people that have so much money and are struggling, they don't even know what to do with the money, they are stealing the money, and yet some people say they want to create a new state in Akwa Ibom. You go to other parts of the country, every state in Nigeria now is agitating for state creation. Why are they doing that? Because the National Assembly has given them Nigeria the platform to say, come and tell us your problem. We are going to solve it. At the end of the day, they just allow a few bills, a few, adjustments here and there. Why not simply go for a new constitution? It is clearly insane. There is no serious republic in the world. There is no democracy, I challenge you. In any country that democracy is thriving, that institutions are working, that parliament is effective, that you will be having constitutional amendment every 4 years. Because the constitution is a grown norm of the country. It is what we lawyers call the Fors Etorico. It speaks to the very existence of a country, the system of government. It is such a sacred document. It is not something that you tinker with every legislative cycle. It is not something you tinker with. So why do we keep having bills upon bills every 4 years to amend the constitution? Because, as I said, it is now looking like a Ponzi scheme to them. They know they can make so much money. They know nobody is asking them to account for the budget of the National Assembly for constitutional amendment. Let us have a new constitution.
What would the implication of having a new constitution be, or what would it entail for us to start? And I hear you, because I hear people who put forth this argument that we cannot put something on nothing and expect it to start. But what would it take for us to start afresh?
The 1999 constitution that we have now is actually a military decree, Decree 24, introduced by Abdulsalami Abubakar during transitioning to military rule. It was introduced in 1998, of course, took effect when Obasanjo came into office. This is a constitution that tells a lie about itself. This is a document that was imposed on the Nigerian people. And it proclaims that we, the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who are the people?
Is the we? Were we all in agreement?
Who are the people? Where did the people congregate?
Okay.
To introduce and bend this constitution. So if we are going to address the meat of the matter, the gist of the case, you have to go to from the beginning. That since this document, and let's foremost constitutional experts and lawyer in Africa, the eminent Benoit Boeze, God bless his soul, has spoken to this matter eloquently. That look, all you simply have to do is, because Decree 24, this document called 1999 Constitution was bettered by military decree. You simply speak to that decree by amending that, revoke that decree. So what the National Assembly has to simply do is to introduce a bill, basically to alter Decree 24 that brought in the Constitution, and then allow Nigerians to have a brand new Constitution. Under Jonathan, they had what they call a national conference. We have had several conferences. Even the report of the national conference that President Goodluck Jonathan, government brought into being, what has happened to it? They are not ready to address the real issues. Can you imagine the hypocrisy that they are speaking about constitutional amendments? They are not even talking about the amendment of the Electoral Act. They are not speaking about electronic transmission of results. They are not speaking about the process of appointment of the chairman of INEC. They are not speaking about the integrity of votes. These are issues that Nigerians are yearning for as we glamour 2 years to election. They've started campaigns already. And you are telling me this parliament wants to do constitutional amendment. What are they going to amend? This is just an attempt to distract Nigerians. I do not believe that this piecemeal thing they are doing here and there is going to solve our problem. If we are going to really go to the heart of the issue, Nigeria must have a new constitution. The current constitution is unworkable. The framework, the governance structure, the way the presidential system is, it is simply impracticable. We have to not just tinker with it. We have to fundamentally alter it. And how you do that is not that every 4 years they vote billions for themselves and say they want to amend the constitution.
That they never amend.
Where the input of the people will actually be taken into consideration, where the documents will actually be a product of the Nigerian people. Look at the judiciary, for example. One of the issues that we have with this current constitution is even the institution of the judiciary. As I'm speaking to you now, if I have a problem with my landlord in Lagos over rent increment and the landlord says I want you to leave my house, I can choose to fight up to the Supreme Court in Abuja, and that can take 25 years. So whereas people are even asking, do we need one Supreme Court? Do we need regional Supreme Courts? Why should we have 109 people in the Senate, 360 people in the House of Reps? Simply doing what? Earning over 30 million per month, not accounting for their constituents, inflating and padding the budget, approving abominable loans. The reason why this impunity is going on in the National Assembly and in the executive arm of government is because the 1999 Constitution is fundamentally flawed. And these people that they are saying they want to amend the Constitution, they will not amend the Constitution against their own interests. So if you are going to have a Constitution that will truly represent the collective aspirations of the Nigerian people, that constitution must have legitimacy from the Nigerian people.
Well, the Patriots recently met again, led by Chief Emeka Anyaoku, and the directive was that they wanted to see how they can proffer solutions, ideas to some of the things that needs to be added to the Constitution. Do you see them making any headway? Because remember that they had met years ago,
yes.
And in their initial meeting, very little or none was even effected in terms of applying it in the Nigerian Constitution. And now they're about to, they just finished meeting, and they've had these conversations severally, and then they say they want to assent or push what they've discussed, especially to the National Assembly and then to Mr. President.
Well, I know members of the Patriots, some members. Some of them are people of good standing, people who have earned reputation for themselves over the years. But if you have a group, an association named the Patriots, that is believed by its own aspirations, by its own mandate, to be constituted by patriotic Nigeria. So can a group named the Patriots make patriotic proposals to a non-patriotic government? And would the government implement patriotic recommendations? You have the Patriots, a group.
That question.
No, I'm answering the question. I'm answering it now.
Okay, please.
You have a group named the Patriots that has made certain patriotic recommendations to a non-patriotic regime. So I simply, look, I commend their courage to put some of these reforms in place. But you see, some of us have gotten to a point that we have become very realistic about the reality of the Nigerian situation, which is that if you speak to the now, the urgency of now, the Tinubu regime or the Tinubu administration is not a patriotic government by any indication. So you are not going to convince me that this government will listen to a group called the Patriots that are making patriotic recommendations. As I'm talking to you, while we are even talking about constitutional amendment, Tinubu has been in power for 2 years. A man that we were told was fighting for federalism while he was governor of Lagos State, that was taking President Obasanjo to court on almost every issue, local government, autonomy, taxation, and so on. He has been in office for 2 years. How many executive bills? Tell me 2 executive bills that this president has sent to the National Assembly to address the flawed federal system that we have. Because is now a beneficiary of the unitary system. Tinubu, who claims to be a federalist, where are the bills, the executive bills by the Tinubu regime to restore Nigeria to the path of true federalism? I have not seen it. So, what are we talking about? The point
he's doing it now. I mean, he's awarding, he's giving positions to only his own people. I mean, he's doing it the way he knows how to.
And I've always proposed that, look, the point that we are today, I do not believe that we are going to have changes through cosmetic reform. It is so bad. It is so deep. The rot has become very pervasive. So even when you come out and begin to make proposals, affirmative action, let's have 30% women in National Assembly. Which National Assembly?
Exactly.
The one that Senator Natasha has not been allowed to resume.
Exactly.
A Senate that had barely 3 to 4 female senators. How many do we have in the House of Reps? And you are saying that you want to bring constitutional amendment for affirmative action.
I didn't realize the problem in Ibehe because you've highlighted the major challenges of not just this 10th assembly. These are problems we've seen with everyone. With the last assembly, they called them rubber stamp as well. And you've said here that what we need to do is a complete overhaul of what is existing. And you do not believe that the current assembly has what it takes to be able to ensure that they start afresh because it will be against their own interests. Will we ever have an assembly that will ever think, this thing is going to be against our interests, but for the benefit of our nation? So let's go ahead and do this. So are we just really building castles in the air when we're saying, or when you and many other people are saying, we want a fresh constitution? Yes. Is it not just like building castles in the air?
Well, the solution is still the electoral process, the leadership recruitment process. Anybody that is expecting the 10th National Assembly to bring about the changes that we want in our country today is living in denial.
But even the 11th, there's no guarantee that the 11th, if they bring it up, will be able to...
Yes, but I'm even saying let's speak to the president, because you have to look at the president before. You need the 10th National Assembly to bring in place electoral reforms that possibly in the next 2 years, we can begin to see some changes in terms of having sane people. It is simply It is simply indescribable, the abomination that these people are committing. They are it is looking as if the National Assembly entered into a blood covenant with President Tinubu to undermine the interests of the Nigerian people.
Of course, that's what it is.
Every outrageous request, they will simply approve it.
Yep.
He's demanding for loans, they are approving it.
Yep.
They are not questioning it.
They are even wearing his cap in the National Assembly. Proudly.
Look at the observations. You are asking for loans approvals for development in states. You are not even specifying the states. You are not specifying what amount is going to what state for what project. You are saying you want this amount of money, you want to collect loans for security. You are not speaking specifically to the thing that you want to do.
Yes,
That's why I am telling you that, look, with this current state National Assembly, it is a complete state of hopelessness for the Nigerian people. These people are insufferable. These people are irredeemable, and that is the verdict that some of us have reached because we know the characters that are running this National Assembly. Let us stop pretending that, look, they will wake up one day and find this out of bed, begin to really care about it. They do not care about us.
They don't.
They do not listen to us. They do not feel the pulse of the Nigerian people. That is why they cannot speak to the issues that matter.
Exactly.
That is why 2 years after, the legislative agenda of the 10th National Assembly still remains in mystery. And I keep telling you that, look, if you are going to have significant constitutional reform, the president must key in. Because by the law now, the president has to sign to every constitutional amendment bill.
I'm telling you, Oriyomi,
one executive bill to the National Assembly that is capable of addressing the structural defects in our country.
None.
The man they are telling us, the revisionist historians are telling us that the fourth, he was in Nadeko, he was fighting Abacha. What is his legacy today?
Bam.
He's continuing from the same part of dictatorship.
Yeah.
You cannot be saying you want to change Nigeria, you are a federalist, and so on. You did this, what have you done? 2 years has gone. By next year now, they're already in full election mode.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an embarrassment. They're full election mode.
Well, some of the senators would argue and say that at least they've passed some bills. For instance, the tax reform bills, the administration bill.
Yes.
That's like a major win for especially this administration. And that bill will make a lot of changes. And some have said that in short, the Patriots also said that they're going to propose to the president to pass one executive bill focusing on the elections to ensure that there's election reforms, especially in the selection of an INEC boss, to ensure that it is independent, not independent to the president. Let's look at some of these bills that they would argue with you and say, at least we've done something. It's not that we're just keeping our hands closed and hoping that Nigerians should wait some more. They said they have more years to go, regardless of the fact that they have 2 more years. They said they have more years to go and that they are certain that they will do some more. Don't you think Nigerians should be patient, like they call for patience?
Well, I think asking Nigerians to be patient is an incitement. You are telling people to be patient with what we are going through. You are inciting people to respond in a certain way that nobody may be able to checkmate. I don't want to hear anything about patience. I personally had lost my patience many years ago.
Exactly.
Which patience? I mean, you are speaking about tax reform because you have a tax master as president. Look at his legacy in Lagos. They keep telling us when he came in, the IGR was maybe 8 billion, and then before he left, it was 100 billion. Tinubu has a history of taxing people to death. So his own reform, the area that interests him is taxation. Why are you surprised? The question is, what are they going to do with the tax?
Bam.
He came in without even policy intelligence, without holding one Federal Executive Council meeting, without even having any meeting with stakeholders. Subsidy gone. He threw the country into ruins, disrupted the market. Inflation skyrocketed and the whole system grumbled. Till today, Nigeria has not recovered from that reckless statement. What is the point I am making? The money that they have made from subsidy. Can you tell us today what they have done with it?
They say the money. Let me explain. I always have the answers to that question, and that's because we've interviewed a lot of APC representatives, spokesperson, and so on, and they always give the same answer, which I have readily available. One, they said the monies are being used for the governors. The governors now earn more money. It is ensured that the money has been shared to the governors through FAC, and then the governors have more money. In that way, that's where the subsidy has gone to. Then part of the money, they're also using it for infrastructural development.
Okay.
Like Lagos,
namely?
Lagos, Calabar road. That's one. They also talked about the one in the north, which they need to complete, the Kaduna Lokoja road. That these are where the monies are going to.
No, that is not factually correct.
That's what we have.
Is it not the same road? They are
Coastal Road.
Coastal Road. The visionless road. They are collecting loans to construct. In a country that, as I'm talking to you, nurses are on strike. In a country that we're having this conversation, university lecturers are threatening to go on strike. In a country that, as I'm talking to you, the minimum wage can barely buy a bag of rice. In a country that basic services are barely available, we are building a coastal road. This is.
I'm telling you, Kenny.
Needs to really think about where it's taking the people to, because as far as I'm concerned, I do not see any point in this.
If they carry us go where we don't know.
Of course. The government are stealing more. The government are, and you can see the wastages.
And
they are buying more cars. They are increasing the levels of their convoy. They are just dissipating the money. And it is not true that it's only governments that are benefiting. Because by virtue of the Constitution, Section 81 and Section 162, every money that is starting to the credit of the Federation is distributed. So the distributed pool account, the percentage goes to the federal government, goes to the state and the local government. So what has the federal government or the central government done with its own percentage of the money they made from subsidy?
Road.
For the state. Which road?
The FCT. The minister is constructing.
The one that is giving 30 billion to renovate International Worship Center, that the conditioners are not working. Look, the way things are in this country, the way we are going, I think they keep pushing Nigerians and look.
Kene, I read your comments well. Consider inflation. Still, Kene, still.
Every single day they are aggravating our sorrow.
I'm telling you.
Our suffering. And they are doing it to our faces. This government cannot account.
Exactly, Oriyomi. He's a strategist. He's a technocrat. He's strategizing us into the bush.
That is, allegedly saved from all of that. And I mean,
na propaganda, my brother.
We really don't know as a people. If you say that what they're doing with the National Assembly is a waste of time, it's like, what next?
It looks like a Ponzi scheme. Yes, that is the way it looks for me. Because why is it every 4 years?
So let's hope that the National Assembly shocks us. It's in our interest.
Really? Okay, they wait till now. You go shock.
Are ready to push.
I said the Patriot. Part of the problem Tinubu has is the name. He doesn't like the name. The Patriot. It makes him uncomfortable.
Well, he has never said so.
Well, you can see it now. Go and watch his reaction to them. Is it the first time they are meeting him? I said the president is not comfortable with the name. I mean, I know a few persons that may have to talk to them. That maybe when you are going to meet the president, don't use the word the Patriot. Because if we are going as a group under the auspices name...
Yeah, I see him. I see him. I actually pulled it up. I see Sheyi Law, all of them. Even Lawrence Okoro. That went hard for Peter Obi. The guy don't enter APC. He even follow go the media this thing. I did see all of them.
That is the problem that the Patriot has.
All right. Enibehe Young, thank you for joining us this morning and for always showing up when we call.
My people, make I quickly run through it. I won't run through this morning before I go do it. I need to do. This DG media, almost see now. All of them, even Bubu, even their Baba show up and Shetima. All of them, they strategize. Almost they are worried. So Bala Blue showed up. They are worried. He did the media summit. See all of them, they take pictures. See Sheyi Law with it.
Where I left that?
See them. See them.
Are we ready?
See them. Most of these social media, Twitter handles, and all of them full the place. So see them. So they are meeting so that they can discuss how they are going to push propaganda. We ready, we dey here, airtight, we go nowhere. Let them come. We too, we don't become chiefs in the propaganda now. So let's go there, right? They say all obedient supporters, they beat them at their game. So they have to meet. Look at, see them. I know, I'm sorry, I can't show you the video. Sorry. I'm not ready. See this ones. Even Ononuga, I see Ononuga too. Open teeth. They take picture. See Lawrence Okoro now. Hey, God, I beg you. I say, wetin be this? E just dey your eye before you. The closeness to power. You know what I've noticed about Nigerian election with the Nigerian people? My observation is this. The people who want good governance they are in their corner. The ones that are only there for what will benefit them directly, now then plenty pass in front. I'm telling you, not everybody that is pushing for a new Nigeria with you really means well. All their attempt is to be close to power as much as possible, get their voices heard so that they can be picked. Take this to the bank, man. That's exactly what I've noticed about Nigerian politics. You understand? Some of us who show up here, we now for our mind, we take the do am. Nobody they pay us money. We don't know anybody. Me, I'm not interested in knowing anybody. Make the country for good. Maybe I feel go my farm in peace. Make I feel do my business in peace. If now work, I won't work. Make I feel work in peace. Now that one consign me. But a lot of people is about closeness to power. They want to get their voices so heard, so loud, that they will notice them and they will now say, oh, come, make them SSC, make them this. They don't care about everybody else. They do not care. Okay? See Anna, Baba Blue come out. He don't choke. So this president come out for their digital summit. They tell them, meanwhile, all the statements he's making, is Yimu statements. All of them. See that they take picture. Look at all of them. Even this guy, what's his name? That guy, I think he was always tweeting from Lagospedia, the bigot. I see him. I can't remember his name. I don't care to know his name, to be honest. Look at them. Look. Use your influence to foster unity, not division. Yeah, right. We all know. Even the office of the SSC on social media. He did there. Now he first give speech. See, on to buy expensive shoes. Look, you saw that one that they drag like I better pass my neighbor generator for Twitter. Or more Jua. That one they there too. See them. Oh, my people, you need to be on Twitter to know some of these people, to understand. Not to welcome. Oh. I'm telling you, if he was working, they won't need to hold bam. Not to your head, they dear. If he was working, he doesn't need to be at the summit. I'm telling you, their propaganda, everything is not working anymore. They are meeting their match. You don't get the corner when they come from. They match them. Energy for energy. Social media, I'm telling you, right? Ground, now we need to still do a lot more work. Because I'm on a war, 2027 a war. See them. All of them. Look at them. The guy was arguing with Grok. I'm telling you. He said machine or not. I take exception. I say, ooh, you don't speak English with AI. That was funny. I read it. I laughed. I laughed. I'm like, these people, are they serious? Look at them. All of them. Hypocrites. See them. Anyway, we did there. We did wait for them. No wahala. See the hall. The hall full. All the media people there. He full. Excuse me. So they're going to be on WhatsApp and they'll be telling, when you start to see some moves, number one, guys, bigotry is on top of that list. Bigotry is on top of that list. Take it. Bigotry. So when you see anybody coming at you with bigotry, just silence the person. You no need to go back and forth. You know it's a game. It is their game. You know what they're trying to say now? They are now saying that everybody in obedient movement that's supporting Peter Obi is IPOB. That's what they are saying. They are trying to make it an Igbo thing. Right? That's what they are doing. That's what they are pushing strongly now. They want to make sure that they target an Igbo thing. Hey, anyway, we dey here. We go nowhere. All of us will become Igbo. I don't they talk this thing since. If they call you Igbo, and own it with your chest. Hey, God. To be Igbo means your head dead here, your head correct, you are beautiful, you are handsome, you dress well, you are neat. You understand? You smell nice. You smell of flowers, butterfly. That's what it means. I'm sorry. That's what they've. Now that one, they don't point out, say yes, to be Igbo is this, to be hardworking, to be entrepreneurial, to be a gem. I don't they follow the argue. I'm telling you, anything you want to say, you see this bigotry, we will win it. You don't pay attention. That's the top number one on their list. That's a giveaway. They've already started. All right, let me go through. Let me see. They are their nemesis, exactly, Natu. They are their nemesis. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I see her now. He want you 712 million to renovate MMA. Hey, God, oh. These people, SPV everywhere. They know they are not. You see all this money they are gathering is for election, no? All this money is too bribery, their delegates, all this nonsense that they are doing is for election. And then the ones that will go into their pockets. Even Keyamas, they talk the money, in mind, no carrier. You can tell his face was disconnected from his body as he was saying it. Anyway, we go talk about them. Okay. So Akin Osutonkun, you guys remember? I think he was the former DG in Labour Party. I think he was a DG, right? You guys remind me. Yes, so Natu, I'm telling you, own it with your chest. I'm Igbo from Edo State. I own it. I know they follow, they argue. They talk this thing since. I say, you people own it. We are all Igbos. If they are doing propaganda against one group, own it with your full chest. Let everybody become Igbo. I'm tired of trying to feel like, because whether you like it or not, they're going to look at you like that. So what's the point? Why are you explaining to people who have refused to learn, who don't know, even their country, they don't know who is who in their country? Why are you wasting your energy? Let them think whatever they want to think. Now, the Akin Osutonkun says the state-sponsored campaign aims to tarnish Peter Obi's reputation. Okay? So bear that in mind. That media summit, when they do so, their attempt now to tarnish Peter Obi by labeling him IPOB, by labeling the obedient movement as IPOB. We dey here. May anybody come tell me say I be IPOB? I dey here now. And then this is a quick detour. Digital. This is an alarm. Lagarde. You guys know who Lagarde is? I think she's the president of World Bank. I don't know. Digital euro accelerating for 2025 launch. Christine Lagarde just confirmed the European Central Bank is accelerating the pace on the rollout of digital euro, with full deployment targeted for October 2025. These people are in a hurry. These people are in a what? Hurry to take over the world. Why the rush? The person that posted it, I'm reading from Jim Ferguson, UK. Why the rush? Because Agenda 2030 can't be enforced without CBDCs. Right? And let me see, what does CBDCs mean? Central Bank Digital Currencies. Okay? Now, programmable money, purchase controls, full traceability, centralized surveillance. But here's the truth. It is not law yet. It's not finalized. They still need parliaments across Europe to pass enabling legislation. This is the window to resist. This is the window to resist. If we sleepwalk through this by 2025, your money may no longer be yours. No cash, no privacy, no exit. They want total control, and programmable currency is the keystone. The digital euro isn't innovation. It is infrastructure for obedience. All right? Let me play the video attached to it.
Vacuum. And we started working on the digital euro.
Welcome, Madam Omorege.
Actually, when I started my term 5.5 years ago, and I'm not claiming, parentality on the digital euro, because my colleague Benoit Cœuré had already committed a speech on this matter before I arrived, but I certainly carried on with that project, and subsequently Fabio Panetta on the board and then Piero Cipollone, who has replaced Fabio, have taken the lead together with a very, very good team which is focused on accelerating the pace and hopefully campaigning enough with all the stakeholders, meaning European Parliament, meaning European Council, meaning European Commission, so that we can eventually, not put to bed, but put to reality this digital euro. The deadline for us is going to be October of 25, and we are getting ready for that deadline.
Okay, you heard it. I go just leave am for there. Now don't hear am now. But na not also na not here. Now, 3 things were attacked in the elections that to flip it from Obi to Tinubu. Pay attention though. 1, high voter turnout was shrinked by staff refusing to turn up in so many polling units. Many claiming they did come with EC8s or inks in Southeast, South, and North Central. Number 2, voter suppressions in Rivers State, Lagos, Plateau. 3, switching off IREV. Okay? Because the projection, higher voter turnout scenario, was 41% in favor of Peter Obi. All right? As at 2023. Okay. Now, this is from ADC Vanguard. Fear of losing 2027 election. T-Pain is pressurizing the National Assembly members to decamp to APC so that APC will have 2/3 of the National Assembly and then pass a law that will make him a life president without election. This was quoted by Olagushoye Oyinlola, former governor of Osun State. That is the plot. So pay attention. Tinubu knows that he's going to leave in 2020. He knows the handwriting, don't they see him? All the juju men, all the medicine men don't tell and say, guy, we not go wait if he do for you again. You see this Okute, we cannot do anything about him. If there's anything you can do before then, do. So he's trying to push for, forcing members of the National Assembly to come into APC so that they can push that law to make him a life president. Either way, Nigerians are going to definitely do something about this because nobody's going to take this sitting down. Now, T-Pain has extended the tenure of customs boss Bashir Adeniyi amid forgery allegations lawsuit. Okay? T-Pain say, no worry, continue to steal the money. We dey here, we'll protect you. You understand? That's exactly what is going on. Yeah, Oriyomi, Peter Obi is the standard for measuring any reasonable politician across the globe. Bam. SI unit for measurement of leadership. Bam. You need to do dictionary or encyclopedia. I don't know who get access to encyclopedia. I'm going to update them. Peter Obi is the SI unit for measuring any leadership across the globe. Let's make that tweet. Now, during Jonathan's time, the fact that they want to extend the tenure of this custom boss, it would have been a daily conversation on Channels News. You see why opposition matters? This is why. As you talk and read, so I not see anybody they discuss, and maybe eventually they will. I don't know. Okay. Further on the UN declares war on digital freedom. This is from Jim Ferguson as well. The UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has just labeled platforms like X a clear and present danger to the global agenda. And now he's demanding total control over what you're allowed to see, say, and share. The UN's Code of Conduct for Information Integrity calls on governments to enforce censorship follow EU-style speech laws, submit to a UN-run independent observatory to monitor compliance. Let that sink in. An unelected global body wants to decide what's truth. Your own country is expected to enforce it. Platforms like X, Telegram, and Rumble are now targets. They claim it's about stopping disinformation, but we know what that really means. Opinions they don't like, stories they want buried, speech they can't control. This is the globalist censorship regime in the open. No vote, no consent, just compliance. If we don't push back now, the truth will be outlawed. I just dey tell you now. Mona take am as una want. Now on GMOs are not feeding you. They are not feeding us. They're about owning us. If we lose our seeds, we lose our freedom. This is a new kind of colonization, and it has to be stopped. Say no to GMOs. Reject GMOs. Now, which other information did I have to share with you guys? I think that was about it. So they're encouraging people to get bags, empty bags of rice, cement, get sand, and start planting your food. Start growing your what? Your food. They're not the tell person 2 times. Start growing what? Your food. Hey. Some of these northern people are crying that Tinubu is the most nepotistic president in Nigeria. And I'm like, yeah, but Buhari laid the foundation for it. When Buhari was doing it, where were you people? You people were jumping up and down and praising Buhari. Now that T-Pain, I don't support the man, I don't care, right? He's doing it. He learned it from Tinubu now. He learned it from Buhari, learned it from your fathers. So I don't know why they are crying. You understand? They even have some northerners in their in the government. How many South? How many South people you find? South people or North Central people? Even Northeast. I mean, what do they call her? Southeast even gets representation for Tinubu government. How many South people you they see for Tinubu government? They're not there. Southeast gets. They even plenty. I beg you. Okay, the court, so this is from West Africa Weekly. The court has upheld the removal of pro-GMO AFAN president after 6-year unlawful tenure. Remember when PCX came, he said there was a guy that has overextended, has overstayed in his position. This is it now. So the court has now finally upheld that removal. So he's going to be leaving that office. Let me see if I can read the article. This is great news right here. Okay, let's see. You see why it's good to talk? This is why it is good to talk. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has upheld the removal of Kabir Ibrahim as president of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, declaring his extended stay in office unlawful after he exceeded the constitutionally allowed term by 6 years. Okay, the ruling delivered on July 17 upheld a March 2022 verdict by the Federal High Court dismissing Ibrahim's appeal. The court awarded 200,000 naira in cost against him in favor of Farouk Rabiu Mudi, who the court recognized as the legitimate AFAN president. So that is great news. Wow. You see, this is why it's good to talk. Oh. See, we make noise and it happens. This is what it's about. That's why you cannot be silent. This is why you cannot be silent. Yeah, I wish we had a stronger opposition in Nigeria, a lot more stronger opposition. It will make a lot of sense. Okay. Still on GMO. We need GMOs in Nigeria. This is according to Dr. Yemisi Asagbra. Dr. Yemisi is the DG of National Biosafety Management Agency. She's the gatekeeper of GMOs in Nigeria. Dr. Agnes Asagbra. But he says it's Dr. Okay, maybe she's Yemisi on Twitter. Now, she's the gatekeeper and the person responsible for approving GMO maize as safe for consumption. She was replied by Professor Christoberg Amwa, the Vice Chancellor of Benue State University of Agriculture, Science and Technology, who also heads the Center for Food Safety and Agricultural Research. I am the Deputy Director of the organization, that's PSHEX. This interview of both of them was this week. Ensure this video gets to every Nigerian who eats food. Okay, let's listen to the video so that you guys can hear for yourself.
Nigeria actually needs GMO.
Can you imagine?
Our food security.
Hey!
We cannot meet up our food requirements by the rural farming that we do.
Oh my God.
Even in advanced countries, GMO is being used. But I would like to say it's a matter of choice. Nobody forces anybody. There's a choice. But with our population, with what we see, we need to have GMOs. We need to have the GM seeds for planting by our farmers, and not planting of grains but of seeds.
Jesus.
And even in advanced countries, even just recently in the UK, they approved the importation, approved some grains to be brought into the country.
Hey!
So, Prof, that's Dr. Sagbra, whom I know you know very well. But you are the Executive Director of the Center for Food Safety and Agricultural Research. Hearing that Nigeria cannot survive mainly on the rural kind of agriculture, that we need GMOs. What's your take on that?
Well, thank you once again, and thank you to the viewers. This was the very same clip I watched that got me, to say the least, infuriated. Shameful. Shameful in the sense that that is not the truth. And for a national officer of Dr. Yemisi's standard, well respected, I expected nothing but the truth. Number one, here is the DG of NAFDA, the regulator, openly advertising seeds, proprietary material of foreign countries, companies. It's not a statement of fact that we cannot survive without GMO seeds. Like I alluded to in my previous outing here, one of my previous outings here, I come from Benue State, where a lot of food is produced, which has earned the state the acronym of the food basket of the nation. Right now, as I speak with you, a lot of fruits are wasting in Benue State, and they are known GMOs. Oranges, mangoes, tomatoes, vegetables. Now, to buy into or to sell the narrative to Nigerians and the people of Africa that we cannot do without proprietary seeds from Monsanto or Bayer or Syngenta or whatever company it is uncharitable, to say the least. Because there are good agronomic practices that have been jettisoned in this country. We from the academia have trained people, and we have curricula that expresses these good agronomic practices. For example, if you drop a GMO seed here, it won't grow because you don't meet the good agronomic practices that will encourage its growth. So now, to say that our population is so large is to undermine the fact that even right now in this country, food insecurity, as it's being generally touted, it's not all about non or insufficient production of food. It's also about economic deprivation. People are there, food is there, there is a glut at certain seasons. There are no sufficient technologies to preserve, and therefore we experience enormous post-harvest losses. Food that would have been preserved for future consumption. So it's not a truth. GMOs are a market strategy, are a commercial strategy to erode national sovereignties of countries supposedly independent. For example, when you submit your food sovereignty on the altar of so-called food security or food insecurity to some proprietary seeds, and now she's talking about grains.
Nigeria actually
guys.
GMO. Our food security. We cannot meet up our food.
Is to undermine the fact that even right now in this country, food insecurity, as it's being generally touted, it's not all about non or insufficient production of food. It's also about economic deprivation. People are there, food is there, there is a glut at certain seasons, there are no sufficient technologies to preserve, and therefore we experience enormous post-harvest losses. Food that would have been preserved for future consumption. So it's not a truth. GMOs are a market strategy, are a commercial strategy to erode national sovereignties of countries supposedly independent. For example, when you submit your food sovereignty on the altar of so-called food security or food insecurity to some proprietary seeds, and now she's talking about grains, that we cannot continue to plant grains. I mean, who told us that narrative? Is it a science? What's the difference between grain and seed? Is it not just about sorting and some germination preservation? So you see, these narratives that I have always said, that have been sold us from without, and we have both beaten the hook, line, and sinker. These narratives, if we'll insist and persist on shoving them down the throat of Nigerians, innocent, ignorant Nigerians, we are invariably positioning our country on the altar of, with sovereignty concerns to sink. And when we realize, it will be too late. Nigeria has very large arable land. Nigeria has very agile, youthful population. As a scholar, as a teacher, I also know that I have a responsibility to train young people to modernize agriculture such that it would attract this median population of 19-year-olds that we have surplus in Nigeria, to drop them back into agriculture. I also know that the political actors have a responsibility to secure the country such that the ungoverned spaces that ought to have been converted to agricultural production would be safe for people like you and I to go in and produce food. Fly over Nigeria today, you would see that there is so much land that is yet cultivated.
Exactly.
And someone comes to sell us a very narrow, strict narrative that without GMOs.
Are you worried that this defense is coming at an institutional level?
Very worried, because it smacks of institutional capture. And the companies that are behind this, it's in the open, it's in the media. These companies have a reputation of institutional capture through bribery. So I'm worried. I'm not insinuating, but I'm expressing my worry.
We need to take this thing serious. So I'm telling you people, this will not be you. You know, consign me. Whoever feeds you control your lives. P-Shex was in Brekete. Yeah, I saw it. I was going to bring the video, but another time, because it's like an hour, over an hour long. I saw the video. You know, I saw the video. Okay. Let me see. now known as How can you just be comfortably selling out your country? This is very disturbing. We're moving along.
I am obedient. We are citizens who decided it's time to end the reign of bad governance in Nigeria. With fire in our bones, we challenge the rotten system. I choose competence because failure masquerading as leadership must end. I choose courage because silence has never saved a nation. I choose community because no one builds a new Nigeria alone. We are millions strong. 36 states in the FCT and growing. We don't wait for permission, we act.
For me, Nigeria needs urgent transition from being a highly insecure country to a secure country, from a disunited country to a united country, from corruption to a transparent country, from a country of lawlessness to a country of law and order.
We fight corruption. We fight entrenched interests that have held us down. We serve, no godfathers, no handouts, just an ordinary Nigerian refusing bad governance. Together, we are a voting bloc of 50 million plus voters from different tribes and religion united in our distaste for bad governance.
I choose P2B because P2B talks issues. P2B gives you numbers.
Come 2027, we will vote for Peter Obi and 1,000 persons values-based and competent leaders.
You need to have a visionary, articulated, competent leadership to start turning around this.
Today we put INEC on notice. 6 million citizens polling unit agents strong. We will defend our votes no matter the cost. I am obedient because I believe in a new Nigeria, and I'm ready to build it. Ready to fight for it no matter the cost. Are you?
Okay, if you have not yet joined obedient.com, please go and do. You don't have to be obedient to join. You just have to be a supporter of Peter Obi. Please, guys, just a reminder, go and join. I have a question for anybody who can answer me in the comment section. You know how they said the polling unit agents, most of them did not show up in some of the polling units with the EC8 forms and all of that, right? How do we tackle a situation like that? Because we remember during the last election, that's what they did. A lot of polling unit organizers did not show up. Some of them showed up very late, right? So how do we tackle that? That is a real issue right there. How do we tackle that part of it? What do we need to do to ensure that those materials arrive there on time and people are able to vote and go home on time? How? Because, you know, they are going to apply the same tactic again, if not worse. This time, they maybe show up midnight and they will say nobody was there. So I beg, if anybody know, Mona, tell me. This is something we need to talk about. We need to address and find out how.
I am obedient. We are citizens who decided it's time to end.
Okay. If anybody know, may they answer me, I beg. Do you know that elevator that one young girl pied in, right? One Dr. Vwere Diaso was pied in. They still have not fixed it till today. It's been 2 years. They still have not fixed that elevator till today. Hey! Okay, so let me read this, guys. So somebody asked Grok, what's the most developed region in Nigeria? List it from the last to the first. Grok answered, based on 2022 subnational human development, what's the I? What does the I represent again? Human Development Index data from Global Data Lab, averaged per zone, Nigeria's geopolitical zones rank from least to most developed. Northwest 0.42%, Northeast 0.46%, North Central 0.58%, South 0.59%. I would expect that to even be lower. South be like jungle. It's reverting. Is reversing fast to the ancient days. I expect it to be lower. Southwest 0.6, Southeast 0.6. The girl come first. Say na Southeast na it come first for the list ranked for the rank of most developed based on the HDI data. Southeast leads in education and health metrics. Now the girl say, are you dumb or what? Who is talking about health and education alone? Which of the Southeast is more developed than Lagos? Or you just want to act silly today? I'm starting to believe the rumors that Grok is an IPOB member. Hey, God I beg, oh, God I beg. So Grok now responds, HDI measures development via health, life expectancy, education and income, GNI per capita, not just the first two. Zonal averages show Southeast at 0.67 versus Southwest 0.62. No Southeast state tops Lagos 0.7, but the zone overall leads due to consistent performance. I am an AI creation, unbiased by rumors. The girl can't respond, bullshit. Nigerians no will keep person. I no feel laugh. The girl they provoke, angry at AI. Oh my God. Hey. See this governor. Now see the governor when he donates 23 brand new SUVs to judicial officers. Finitri. Anna Fintiri. Fintiri. Amadu Umaru Fintiri. He hand over 23 brand new SUVs to judicial officers as part of his unwavering commitment to strengthening not be bribe with this, and the justices go collect them. Okay, then the other thing is there's nationwide continuous voter registration. All right, it's going to start from August 18. 2025 nationwide continuous voter registration. I'm going to post it on my community page as well. Your vote starts with registration. Don't miss your opportunity to register. So the pre-registration starts August 18. In-person starts August 25 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So please tell your people, if you have not yet collected, please let them go and collect. We need them. Marketers warn that Dangote Petroleum Refinery's plan to bypass existing distribution channels and supply refined petroleum products directly to end users will lead to a nationwide disruption, long-term product scarcity, and the collapse of existing supply networks. You guys don't have any elite groups in Nigeria. Hey. When will Fubara's suspension end though? He don't spend 6 months finish. He never spend 6 months finish. Meanwhile, Traore is just leveling up every day. God, I want to be from Burkina Faso so bad. It's not even funny. Anyway, my people, make we end up for here today. I say make I bring this one in the morning to now sharp before I start my day. But you guys, thank you for joining me this early morning. We go talk again at some point later on in the day, depending on how my errands go. All right, thank you so much, Kene, Oriyomi, Mr. Morege, everyone that was able to be here this morning. Natu, my darling sister. I go see you now on my next one. Now enjoy on a day. Bye.